What's up, Raging Nation? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Raging Ronin Review, Transformers 3 Edition. You know what? Let's get away from the movie for a little bit. Let's talk about toys. I was just rewatching my videos about the whole toy collecting thing, and I was reading all the comments, and it just kind of brought me back to memory lane about when I used to be a really hardcore toy collector. I want to tell you some stories about what I used to do. You already know that I'm hardcore, and I drove all the way down to Seattle from Vancouver. That's a 3-hour drive, but we went early enough in the morning that our first destination was Northgate Mall, Toys R Us, which is like the very border of Seattle. We were there and we worked our way upwards back to the Canadian border. You know what's crazy? We would actually make it just in time to get back to work at like 11 o'clock or noon. And that was just so hardcore of us. And the thing was that I remember when we were in Northgate Mall, we bumped into two other toy collectors who are American, of course. We were all looking for Star Wars toys, Episode 1 stuff. We were both in the Star Wars section and we were just started talking, right? Asking what each other are looking for. And then I think they asked us, oh, where are you guys from? And then we said that, oh, we're from, north of the border. And he said, whoa, you guys are hardcore. A lot of Canadian collectors actually went down to the States because you guys have the better stuff. You guys have a way better selection. I don't know, the toy selection in Canada just kind of sucks compared to the States. It's gotten better though. I mean, you guys at the time had KB Toys. There would be like figure series that we would never even see up in Vancouver. Another thing is that I find that the American Toys R Us employees are so nice. I find everybody is so nice. But it's kind of funny because when Americans come to Canada, they always say that, oh, Canadians are so nice. I always feel that American Toys R Us employees are so nice because I asked them for something, they would always look in the back and then get it out for us. For example, I was looking for McFarlane Spawn toys. One of the employees came up to me and he said, hey, you find everything you're looking for? I said, not really. Do you know if you have like this Spawn, like this particular Spawn character? And he says, hold on a sec, let me take a look in the back and check for you. And you know what he did? He brought out the entire case and let me and my buddy go through it, and we just got to pick out the ones that we liked. And that was awesome. We don't get that kind of treatment up in Canada. If you ask the same question, you know what they do? And I know this because I know Toys R Us employees up in Vancouver. In their mind, they're rolling their eyes. And then they say, let me go check for you. No problem. They go out there, they just walk around in the warehouse, and they come on and say, I tried to look, I looked around, I'm sorry, we don't have it. What kind of crap is that? They aren't very helpful, okay? I know for a fact. So, and then on top of that, the cashiers are so nice. I remember there was this girl, she was had a nice smile, and she asked me how I was, and did I find everything I'm looking for? I said to her, do you have a comment card? You're such a nice person. I want to write something nice for you. So she said, oh yeah, for sure. Here's a comment card. Can you fill it? Yeah, go right ahead and fill it out. And then the other cashier girl came up to me and said, oh, could you fill one out for me too? And then another cashier girl asked the same thing. Hey, fill one out for me. And then I didn't even know what to write, so I wrote down, had a nice smile. Okay, in the comment box. And for this other girl, I wrote, gave me exact change. Put in the comment box. So these are some of my experiences going down to the States and shopping. And you know what we do afterwards? After all the toy shopping, we would celebrate by going to Red Lobster. Because we don't have Red Lobster up. You gotta go all the way to Alberta for that. But in BC, there's no Red Lobster. Either that or we would go to the Tulalip Casino Buffet because it is the greatest buffet I've ever been to in my entire life. That's what it's like. And sometimes we would bump into other Vancouver toy collectors. Isn't that weird? Of all places, they just decided to go down to the States the exact same day that we decided to go. I miss those days. See, I contemplate about getting back into it because I know if I get back into it, I'm just gonna go all out again. It's so hard for me to just buy the ones that I really like because I don't know, it's a disease. I'm a very impulsive buyer. Sometimes I buy it just for the sake of buying it because it's hot. I see everybody else buying it. Then all of a sudden I look at it and then I end up returning it. Just because it was an impulse buy. I wasn't 100% sure on it. I bought it because other people I saw around buying it. You know, a lot of times you go to different stores like the Walmarts, your Toys R Us, your Targets, and you don't find what you're looking for. And then one day you decide to go to a Toys R Us, and then you look behind the pegs, and then you find that one figure you want. It is very satisfying. It is a very special feeling. I don't know if you guys ever felt that, but I felt it many times. Other collectors wouldn't buy it. For some reason, they don't want other people to buy it. So what they do is they take, like, you know, Alito class Megatron or Bumblebee or something, then they would hide it in the girls section of Toys R Us. Like, they would hide it somewhere where you would never expect to find it. And you know what? I confess, I did the same thing before. I don't even know why I did that. Like, what is the point of doing that? I mean, for me, because why didn't I just buy it? Why don't I want other people to buy it? It's ridiculous. But I don't know, have any of you guys done that before? It's just a weird mentality as a collector. It's really strange. I have a lot of really strange stories as a collector. Oh yeah, and get this, coming from US back to Canada, of course, you got to go through the border, and you know the job of these border patrol guys is to be an asshole. I mean, you know what? I don't blame them. Their job description is be an asshole. And that's just the way it is. And you know what? When they're outside of their job, they're just regular people. But when they're on the job, they have to be like that just because they're protecting the country. But, you know, it sometimes gets under your skin. Anyways, I'm used to it. I don't care how they act. They can be like the biggest pricks, but I wouldn't care because I'm just so desensitized by it. A lot of times, I just tell them straight up. They ask me, are you buying these toys for resale? Like, what is it? Why do you have to buy so many? I just tell them straight up. I'm a freaking hardcore collector. Come by my house and you take a look, and I'll show you that this is just personal collection. Who are you to judge me? You know, your porn collection is probably bigger than my toy collection. We all have our own vices. For me right now, it's movies and camera gear. I love, you know, I'm into video production, so I love the latest camera gear. Some of those border guys are pretty cool most of the time, but they can be real dicks. I don't have to deal with that anymore just because I stopped collecting. But I still miss it though. Oh yeah, by the way, I wasn't there for this, but one of my other friends, he's also just as hardcore. He was at the midnight event for, I think it was episode 1. I think he was at FAO Schwartz when it was still around. What had happened is that there was a huge lineup for the new Star Wars toys, and then huge crowd. It was like not as big as Black Sunday, but it was just a huge crowd of Star Wars fans. It was just a madhouse because what they would do is they would have the cases all there, and then they'd let all the fans just go through the cases and just rummage in them and get through the ones they want. Then you'd have employees saying like, hey, you looking for Darth Maul? Like, you know, through the crowds. You know, there's like a crowd of people, like an ocean of people, and then they'd go like, hey, you looking for Darth Maul? And then you'd be like, yeah, and throw it over to you. And he said, I got a fresh case of Wave 3. And then he'd just throw the case over. It was ridiculous. I mean, that was how fun collecting was. It's not like that anymore, but I think one of the reasons why is because George Lucas and Hasbro created this whole merchandising thing with the Star Wars toys. Transformers has always been around, but Star Wars had this big giant push for the toys because of the movies, because of the prequels. So now you got Hasbro pushing Transformers because of the movie, but you know, it's not as big because Transformers is an ongoing series. Like, you got your animated series, you got your Generations. It's just ongoing. To have another series just feels like I'll pick it up when I feel like picking it up. And to top things off, if you wait long enough, these things eventually go on sale and you get peg warmers. Anyways, I've said a lot about something that I have nothing to do with anymore. It was just a random thing that popped into my head and I thought I'd share it with you all. It really is about the thrill of the hunt. If you have any interesting stories about being a toy collector, share them with me in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about them because I've shared some of mine. Now let me know about some of yours. Anyways, Raging Nation, my name is Alex Yu and thanks for watching the Raging Rona review. Peace.
Oh damn, here we are. Walmart. Damn, it's the Walmart Super Center. They better have a lot of super stuff because it's a super center.